Hi traders, it's Eddie here from TradeView and welcome to episode number 102 of Trading Talk. In this episode we continue where we left off last week and we show you some more blocks in EA Lab that you might not be using. So take a look at the episode and you can use these blocks in building some of your own models. We'll show you all the functionality of how that works. Also, if you haven't checked it out for a while, go to tradeview.com.au/trading championship and have a look at the leaderboard of the International Trading Championship. The leaderboard gets updated every day and there's been some big changes recently. So have a look and why not enter yourself with a chance to win a $10,000 live IC Markets trading account, as well as tickets with flights and accommodation to TradeView's Algo Trading Conference in November. Speaking of the conference, we've got 4 fantastic speakers. They're all international and they're all world class. So we have Andreas Krenov, who's a Swiss hedge fund manager. We've got Dr. Ernie Chan and Dr. Roger Hunter, who are 2 quants who run a fund as well. And we've got HFT legend, Chaim Bodick. There's actually a film about him called The Wall Street Code. You should definitely check it out. Or even better still, go to algotradingconference.com, have a look at all the speakers and do some of your own research so you can see the caliber of guys that we're going to have at this event. At the event, they're going to show you some of the strategies that they trade, and we're actually going to build the models in EA Lab. You're going to be able to download those automated models and take them home for yourself at the end of the day. So it's a fantastic opportunity. If you're interested in coming to the conference and you give us a call today, I'm going to give everybody who purchases a ticket today a special bonus. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but trust me, you will want it. So if you're interested in coming or you're even just thinking about it, give us a call, have a chat, and if you want to come, I'll give you the bonus. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoy the episode, and until next week, all the best with your trading.
Hi traders, Eddie here from TradeView. Welcome to episode number 102 of Trading Talk. I'm back for another week, given the popularity of last presentation. Everybody really enjoyed finding out how to use some of the blocks in EA Lab, so I'm back for a round 2. I hope I can bring you some more insights into how you can use some of these blocks in building your own trading models. Let's get right into it. Okay, before we get started, as always, this presentation is for information purposes only and it should not be taken as financial product advice. It's just general information. Also, to add to that, if we do show any results in these videos, they're just hypothetical or simulated performance results in that they're back tested. They're not actual trading results, so they're not real results, they're back tests. Back tests do give you a really good idea of how a model could perform, but obviously they don't guarantee that you're going to get those results in the future. There's our AFSL there at the bottom if you're interested. Alright, let's move on. EA Lab, the blocks. Like I said, this is an add-on from last week. I will try and do all the blocks in there so you get a little bit of an idea of how they work. That said, they are in the knowledge base in EA Lab, so I'm just going to show you. And I'll actually show you because I needed to use it today to find something for this particular episode, because believe it or not, I probably haven't used every single block in EA Lab. Alright, here's your knowledge base. It's this question mark. So if you wanted to know something about a particular thing, you can just search here for whatever it is, and if it's not in there, you can click send your question to admin, and then we'll get notified and we'll be able to, number 1, respond to you, and number 2, we know that people are searching for a particular thing, so we can make a knowledge base article on it. So definitely use your knowledge base as your first port of call, and that's going to give you the quickest answer for a lot of things. And the one I didn't know how to use was actually this one here, the hours, minutes, seconds block. I just have never used it, but I'll show you how to use it. It says it allows you to use the time functionality in your if conditions, which then got me thinking about how I would do that, and then I came up with the answer. So it was good. Alright, let's go through it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a model that's just sort of shows you all the bits and pieces in a couple of these menus. So last week we did the entries and the orders, so we may as well just continue down the line and go through date and time. We can see here we've got 5 different blocks in there. Is trading day, is trading hours, is day, the day of the week is time, and then we've also got that hours, minutes and seconds block, which I didn't know how to use earlier. Alright, so I'll come back to that one in a sec. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the is trading. I'll put them all into one and we'll explain how they work. So I'll do it like this. So we say if Oops. And I've got the is trading day. And to plug this in, you can't plug it in here. You've got to remove the equals. It's just a standard. It's just if is trading day. I'll tell you what, by the way, I think my computer is running a little bit slow, and I'll tell you why I think it is. I think it's because I've got this website open. Right now it's playing a video. This one here. I'm just going to bring it up quickly, and then I'm going to come back to the episode. Hey, if you haven't joined the International Trading Championship, you definitely should. You can win up to $10,000 from IC Markets. Here is the winner of, well, the leaders of the sprint competition, Abhishek. Doing pretty well there at 68.9%. And he's also leading the marathon currently. He's knocked off Peter off the top spot. Alright, so get involved. If you've got an IC Markets account, definitely join. If you don't, sign up, get an IC Markets account and join. You could win up to $10,000 plus an Algo Trading Conference ticket. It's a real money trading championship. A lot of these guys are our clients. Rita, doing very well again. She did well last year as well. So get involved. Alright, I didn't want to bring that up midway, but I do want to shut it down. So hopefully that gives me... speeds it up a bit. Alright, I think it's because it's the video, makes it run a bit slow. Alright, seems a bit better. Okay, so we've got is trading day. We've got also, I'm going to build these in, we've got is trading hours. So what I'll do, I'll just duplicate this, pop this in, remove this, pop it in. We've got, I'll duplicate it again. We've got, actually runs a lot faster. I think it was that site. Day of the week is a particular day, so it's got a drop down here. You can select which day, and then we've got the is time. Alright, so we'll go. So we're going to do something a little bit different with this one. We'll use the and I'll explain this all in a second. Now buy. Okay. So what I want to show you is exactly how this works. So first off, I'll start with the is trading day and is trading hours. What these two blocks are going to do is they're going to, you can see you can't do anything with them. The reason is that you're able to set them in your expert properties. So you can set them for testing. What's it say when we actually hover over? See if I can get that again. Till I move it. Returns true if current time is during a nominated trading period. Returns true if the current day is valid trading based on the user inputs. So these ones, they're actually inputs that you can change in the EA itself. So you can't change them in here. So what we'll do, we'll go to MT4. And I've just created that basically same EA. And in your expert properties here in the tester, which is also in the actual, obviously, live EA, you can see those variables here. So you've got your trade start time and trade end time, which corresponds with is trading hours. So you can select what trading hours you want to have there. So if it's within those trading hours, it will trade. So you could say it will trade between, let's just say, 10 and, let's just say 10:59:59. So what that means is the whole EA will only trade within those hours. Okay, so it's got nothing to do with each individual trade. It's the whole EA. Basically, the EA is switched off without those hours. What you could use that for is you could use it for if you specifically wanted an EA to run within the European session. You could set the hours there, and it will only trade during the European session. The other one is trading day. If you only want it to trade within a European session on you only want it to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you don't want it to trade Friday, then Friday will just make false. and then it won't trade on Friday. Alright, so that's how that block works. So that's pretty useful. You can actually optimize and test them as well. Next, we're going to go to this day of the week is Monday. This one basically works as you think it would work. So you can only select one day in there. So you're going to say if it's Monday and if the bar close is greater than the, I don't know, the upper Bollinger Band, then sell, for example. Alright, so it's only going to trade on a Monday. You can make the condition based on what day of the week it is. The next one here, this is one that people often misunderstand. So it's the is time block. So what we say here is, you could say if the time is a particular thing, then buy. So you could say if it's 11 o'clock, buy. The problem is that you might not always get exactly 11 o'clock. Alright, so what might happen is, even though technically you might run it on the hourly and the bar is supposed to start at the 11 o'clock or at 11, then what might happen is it might start at 11, but you actually might get the tick at 11.0001. Alright, so technically it's not equal to 11, so therefore it's not going to trade. Alright, so what I usually do when I use these block here is I'll do it like this. I'll say if the time is greater than or equal to 11, so if it's 11 or it's after 11, and the time is less than, I don't know, 11, depends what time frame I'm running it on. Let's just say it's a 15, I don't know, let's just say 11:30, well, let's just say it's the, I don't know, say it's the 5 minute, 11:05, then buy. So what that means is if it's 11.001, it's going to be greater than 11, so that's condition's going to be true, and it's going to be less than 11:05. Alright, so it's not going to trade again after 11:05, it's really going to trade somewhere within that bar. Basically it will get executed. If we're running on bar here, it will get executed at the start of the bar, but just say the print of the time is not exactly 11. Alright, it's 11 and a little bit. That's how that will work there. You could also say if it's greater than 11, but then what's going to happen is it's going to continue to trade afterwards. So that's how you use that one. Alright, that only leaves one other block, which is this one here, the hours, minutes, and seconds. And now, if you hover over this, it says this block is the number of seconds provided in hours, minutes, and seconds. So an hour has 3600. The minutes is 60, obviously, and seconds is seconds. So how are we going to use this block? Well, this one's a little bit more interesting. Here's what I built earlier. By the way, if you do this, right-click anywhere on the workspace, hit Clean Up Blocks, pulls them all together. So I find that very useful when you've got things all over the workspace. Alright, I'll just plug this one here and I'll show you what I've built. I'll plug it into here. Okay. So what I've built here is I've got the order selector, which we discussed last week, and I've said go and select all the long and short orders, basically all the orders on the book. And then I've said if the order age in seconds, and that order age in seconds comes from here, comes from this order profit block. So we covered that one last week. Here's your order profit, which is the default. We've made it order age in seconds. Is greater than, this is going to be in, so you got hours, minutes, and seconds, but remember it's in seconds. Let's just say 3600, which is an hour. So if the order is greater than 1 hour old, then it's going to close the order. Alright, so that's how you use that block there. I've never used this order age in seconds. I usually use order age in bars, but you could do it in seconds. Let's just say you're running on tick and you want the trade to only be open for 3 seconds. So open an order, if it's in profit within 3 seconds, close the order. You could do that. You just put 3 in here, select it, and that's it. So that's how that one there works. I think that's actually pretty cool. I've never used that though. Alright, so that's everything that's within the date and time. Now the next one I wanted to show you is here, which is in bars, is the next menu. So what all is all the indicators. We'll go to bars, So you've got 3 bars here: bar close, highest close, and the mode bid. Alright, let's pull these out and work out how they work. This one, pretty simple. If you've probably used this one, it's a very common block. If the bar close of shift 1, because we're building on bar, you can't, you want to use shift 1 generally if you're building on bar. The bar close of shift 1 is greater than, let's just make it really simple, the bar close of shift bar high of shift 2, then we want to buy. That's how the bar works. If you want to say the bar close shift 1 is greater than the moving average, greater than the moving average or something else, an indicator, then you can do that as well. So you can compare, the bar close is a price. So when it has this block, if you say if the bar close, what it's going to look at is going to look at the price of the bar close, and it's going to compare it to something else. Is the price of the bar close greater than the price of the bar high 2 bars back? Alright, so that's how that one there works. Then we've got next, I'll pop this out. The next thing we've got here is the highest close block. And this can be a little bit tricky for people, because people generally do this. They'll say if the highest high, actually I'll do it like this. They'll say if the bar close of shift 1 is greater than, instead of just the last bar, they might say the highest high of the last 10 bars, counting from, you need to count from 2 bars back. Okay, because if this one's going to be closing greater than this, then you can't make this 1. There's some other videos about that. Then buy. If the bar close is greater than the highest high of the last 10 bars. That's how you think it would be, but that's actually incorrect. The way it is, if you want to say the highest high of the last 10 bars, it's not going to pull the price here. What you need to do is this. I'll just duplicate this one. So you actually want to do this. You want to go and find the bar high of the highest high of the last 10 bars. Alright? So it's going to shift back and look at what's the highest high over the last 10 bars, and then it's going to get the high of that bar. Alright? So that's how it works. If you want to say the highest high of the last 10 bars, it's like this. The bar high, shift, highest high, the last 10 bars. And the reason I use shift 2 here is because I just say you want to do it for a breakout. If you want to say that the bar close of shift 1 is greater than the highest high of the last 10 bars, well, what's going to happen is if you use shift 1, it's not going to work, because you can't close higher than the highest high of the last 10 bars. This is always going to be the highest bar. Shift 1, if it closes above the highest high, well then therefore shift 1 would be the highest high. Sorry if that confuses you, but then it doesn't work. Okay, and then the other one you've got in here is the bid ask. Okay, so it's mode bid ask. So you can find the difference between the bid and the ask. So you could say if bid minus ask, so the buy and the sell prices. So you could say if bid, sorry. Okay. So you could say something like this. If the bid minus ask is greater than 0.004, so if the spread basically is greater than 4 points, sorry, that's 40 points, depending on what product you're on anyway. So you're on the Euro or the Aussie, 4 points, then actually probably want to say it's less than then buy. So you can use this then as a spread filter. So if you've got a really big spread, let's just say you're doing some kind of a scalping system and you don't want to get into the market when the spread is large because you're only aiming for a small amount of profits anyway, that's how you do it. You set a spread filter. So you can say if the bid minus the ask is less than a certain amount, then buy. Alright, so there's all the blocks in the bars section and the date time section. I hope you guys found that one to be useful. Just one thing that I want to cover before I go. Oops, sorry. It's actually here. The Algo Trading Conference, obviously we cover this every single week because, and look, when I do it, I'm super excited about it. It's going to be the best conference we've done. I mean, obviously they've all been really good, but we don't try and do things worse than last year. We definitely try and make them better. We're actually saying that this one's going to be bigger, better, and faster. Rob came up with that one, which I think is a pretty good catchphrase. It's going to be bigger in that we've got this year 3 international speakers. Previously, the most we had last year was, actually we only had 1. Tom was from Sydney. We had Kevin Davey. G'day Kevin, who's doing a webinar with IC Markets actually, which I'm going to pull up in a sec too. So you should register for that and I'll explain why. So Kevin is from the US, so last year only 1, but this year all 3, well it's actually 4 speakers are international. So more speakers from overseas, not that means they're better, but it's definitely bigger. And the second word is better. I mean, like I said, better. We don't aim to go backwards, so I'm sure it's going to be a better conference all round and faster. The reason I say faster is because of this last guy here, Haim Bodek. So Haim Bodek is a high frequency trader. He's got a lot of experience in high frequency trading. I'm just going to pull up on one of my other screens here. I'll bring it over in a sec. Where is it? I'll pull up. Where is it? Sorry, bear with me. I'm going to pull up. Okay, here it is. So Haim, he's actually got a documentary made about him called, got a bit of a glimpse, there it is, The Wall Street Code. He's got a good haircut, by the way, same as me and Rob. So it's a documentary here about high frequency trading. And he was a high frequency HFT whistleblower. So it says here he's credited with drawing international attention to order types in the US financial markets that he says gave unfair advantage to high frequency traders. Basically, look, it actually says here, a thriller about a genius algorithm builder who dared to stand up against Wall Street. I mean, look, a lot of people will say Haim Bodek is a genius. He's a very, very smart guy, and we are absolutely thrilled to have someone of his caliber at the conference. So this is, look, I say this to everybody, obviously we're running the conference, but if we weren't, I would definitely be paying to come to this conference because I would love to hear what Haim Bodek's got to say. Let alone, the really cool thing is that at this conference, you're actually going to get one of the models that he's come up with. I don't know if we've said too much about it, but I'm the one who's sort of organising it with the guys. Haim's model, we haven't completely done it yet. It's probably going to be based on cryptocurrency, but you could probably use it for other things as well. The reason why is because what Haim Bodek is really good at is finding inefficiencies in markets because he understands what's called market structure. So that's a very different type of way to probably a lot of people see the markets. And you can build market structure models in MT4, which of course we're going to do. So in the cryptocurrency market, there's a lot of inefficiencies because it's a new sort of market, and it's not as efficient, if you like, as other markets. So he's going to use some of his techniques in there. They're not necessarily, and HFT traders do look at this stuff, but it's not a high frequency model. And he's going to show you some of his techniques based around, I'm having a blank, around market structure, sorry about that, and how you can use that to trade. And you can use it for other products as well. But yeah, that's Haim's. Dr. Ernie Chan and Dr. Roger Hunter, they're going to be presenting together. Ernie Chan, he really wanted to come. He's in Canada, but he cannot make it. Unfortunately, at the time, he really wanted to, but a couple of things he has to attend to. and he's not going to be able to make it physically. Therefore, he said to us, hey, I can send my CTO, Dr. Roger Hunter over, Technical Officer, Roger Hunter over. And there's actually an article about Roger on Bloomberg about quants. That the article's basically about, I think it's called the DIY quants. Because what some of the guys were doing is they're so smart, they were taking on a lot of the Wall Street quants, and they weren't needing to be at Wall Street, because obviously with automated trading, you don't have to be in the vicinity. He basically lived out in the desert, so he spent some time in the US, some time in New Zealand, and he can trade remotely because obviously all this stuff is automated. So Roger will actually be there on stage, and then Ernie will be there via a live stream. So it's basically a 2-for-1. I think that's going to be super cool. You're going to be able to interact with each other. Ernie's model, his specialty is in machine learning. So it's going to be a machine learning based model. We're running all that stuff at the moment, and it's looking really, really cool. So we're going to use machine learning to develop the strategy, but then the strategy will be built in MT4, in EA Lab for MT4, so you'll be able to obviously download it and trade it for yourself. So pretty cool stuff. We're really, again, pushing the boundaries of the things that you can do, and these are the types of things that we do. We do some sort of machine learning in our trading as well. We've got a quant here, but Dr. Ernie Chan is very well known for it, and we'll take it to another level altogether. And then we've also got Andreas Klenov, who was the first person we got on board. He was actually a suggestion from Dr. Tom Stark from last year. So if you really like Dr. Tom's presentation, and I reckon Dr. Tom's was very, very popular last year, then you are going to love Andreas's. He's a hedge fund manager from Switzerland, basically manages a lot of money, and he's going to build a portfolio of different, probably currencies, maybe some other things as well. And we're looking at, we haven't finished doing it yet, but we're looking at trying to rebalance the portfolio as we go, depending on how different assets are performing. So all this stuff, this is seriously cool stuff. It's all going to be automated. You're going to have access to everything. You're going to be able to take it home, test it. If you want to, you can trade it. It's up to you. Make sure you do testing first as a disclaimer. And you understand how it works and everything. But you're really going to get some concepts out of these guys that I'm 100% confident you won't have thought of before. I've been here for, I think it's my 6th year. I've never even spoken to anybody about building a portfolio and rebalancing it. Nobody's even asked me if they could do that, right? So I'm pretty certain that, nobody's out there doing that. The machine learning stuff that Ernie Chan is coming up with, unless you are a quant yourself, pretty confident you're not going to be able to come up with that stuff. Even if you are, I'm sure you don't have as much experience as Ernie and Roger. Chaim Bodek, again, you have to go and read the review. You have to read the bio on the guy. I worked for a place called Algo Trading, which got sold to, I think it was Goldman Sachs for about $500 million, I think in the 90s. And he pretty much headed up their electronic trading department. Don't quote me on all that stuff. I mean, the important stuff is correct, but I'm not sure what his title was. You have to go double check. But yeah, that's what he did. So you can't head up a automated trading department of a company that gets sold for $500 million to Goldman Sachs and not be a serious player. All right, so this stuff to me is so exciting. I'm really, really excited to have these guys there, and you should definitely come as well. Thanks, obviously, to IC Markets for sponsoring it. Now, I did say I'm just going to pull up the link. Bear with me, because I've got a link to the webinar we're doing with IC Markets next month with Kevin Davey. You got to wait for the link, because I'll explain why you definitely have to come. You get something for free. And there we go. So it's icmarkets.com/lp/special-event-with-Kevin. I reckon you guys can probably type that in. Sorry, it's not interactive, this one, so I can't post it anywhere for you. But basically, it's my 5 favourite entries with Kevin Davey. There's Kevin, who came to the conference last year. A lot of people loved Kevin's models, and they're performing quite well this year. So it's probably no surprise that he was the world trading champion. You need to have an IC Markets account to join up. If you don't, then you need to create one. And what you can do if you're going to create an account, use the broker code 1011, and that will actually put you under TradeView, and you'll get rebates. So you can't get rebates unless you go under us or you do a serious amount of volume, but it's got to be a fair bit, so they're not going to give you rebates probably unless you're working or trading under us. 1011 is broker code. Go there, and what we're going to do is at the actual event, for the first 250 people that register, we're going to give them an indicator that we're building that basically will just display Kevin's entries on the charts, and you'll be able to automate off it. So instead of having to write all the conditions out or anything like that, all you do is you plug the indicator on. Visually you'll be able to see it, and then you can just reference that indicator through the custom block in EA Lab. So pretty cool stuff. We did one last quarter with Larry Pesavento, and we did a harmonics indicator. This one's going to have, should have 5 different entries. So yeah, basically 5 for 1, super cool indicator. And Kevin was saying at the webinar, you can actually mix and match them. Like you could use 2 entries together, combine them to have an even stronger signal. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Definitely have to register. Who doesn't want a free indicator that's got Kevin Davies entries in it? First 250 people only. Alright, that's enough for me. Oh, you know what? One thing. I was thinking about this. I'm going to do it. I'll say it in the video when I introduce it. Anyone who purchases an Algo Trading Conference ticket today will receive a massive special bonus. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm going to tell you that you definitely want it. Alright? I'll be honest, the Algo Trading Conference is not a cheap conference, but it is a fantastic conference and absolutely everybody should come. Alright, so with this special bonus as well, it's going to make it even better. So if you don't have yourself a ticket, give me a call, find out what the special bonus is, and get yourself a ticket today to receive that bonus. Okay? That's it for me for now. Enough of me talking about all the stuff that you should come to, but hey, do you know what? I'm pretty excited about it, so you should definitely come. I'll put in the in a trading talk section all these notes, along with just some of those pictures of the blocks that we looked at today. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and until next week, all the best with your trading. Bye for now.